Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer.
So I've been meaning to tell you, your bush looks amazing.
Oh, gross. Oh, I hate you. So gross.
No, Erin has what kind is it?
A peony.
I always want to say peonies.
I always want to say penis.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. It's a peony bush outside, and it is gorgeous right now.
I know. It's beautiful.
And then when I walked in your house, you're like in a magazine.
I know.
You have fresh flowers sitting on every single table, all from your bush.
Gross. I'm so glad that you said something because I was deeply offended that you didn't gush over how beautiful my house looks right now with my beautiful flowers.
I was waiting so that I could, just get that zinger in right there. About your bush.
You
about
needed
your
a
bush.
bush reference.
Anytime I can get a zinger in about your bush, I'm gonna.
Well, thank you. Thank you for my beautiful bush. I took a long time clipping and
now I'm thinking that could be our next title is Beautiful Bush. But we can't have Sex in the Hand one week and then Beautiful Bush. If you listen to last week's episode and through the whole thing, you're like, why did they name it this? Then that means you did not listen to the bloopers. So go back and find those bloopers because it was.
If you're not listening to the bloopers, I don't know what you're doing. They're sometimes the best part.
That's why you listen. You suffer through all of this talk to get to the bloopers.
Oh man. I had a ball game tonight because I always do, always and forever. And the lady behind me said, when are you going to come see this haunted mansion I work at?
What?
I said, you name the time of the day. I'm there.
Yeah, let's go.
I know. She started telling me about it. She's actually a mom of one of my kids.
Okay.
She's the one who I said, don't let her listen.
Hold on. That sounds really weird. A mom of one of your students.
A mom of one of my students. Aw. Like, here's where I tell you, I have a
sordid love affair.
Lesbian past life with other mothers.
Again.
Only. I would have never left that life.
Yeah, living the dream.
Anyways, no, she's one of my students' moms. She was like, yeah, it's totally haunted there. She said, first of all, we put on a haunted show around Halloween.
What is it? Where is this place? I've never even heard of it.
I was going to look at it.
Is it here in Louisville?
Yeah, it's here in Louisville. And she said it's the oldest running haunted house in Louisville. I'm pretty sure she's told me before, but I am not very good at paying attention to important moments. So
to directions.
Well, that's an important moment, Megan. Maybe Carriage House East? No, she said something about the Carriage House, some kind of mansion.
Huh. You're really bad at paying attention.
I know, I'm really bad at it. And she's great, but like I don't want to ever make her mad. She's
a little intimidating.
She's really fiery with the umps. Oh. And so I'm like, I'm glad you like me. And I like her.
So far.
But I also don't want to be like, remember when you were telling me something that I should definitely pay attention to? I didn't. I don't want to tell her that. So I'm going to try to skirt around it and try to figure it out on my own.
Okay.
Do a little detective work. She does say she listens to this podcast, so maybe she'll know, but I think she's behind. Anyways, by then ball will be over.
Sure.
Her daughter's in 5th grade.
It'll be
I won't run into her. I'm kidding.
Organically work itself out.
She's actually super cool, and she does roller derby. I'm telling you,
dang,
a little intimidating, but awesome.
Yeah.
So really could be a great friendship blossoming if I can learn to pay attention. But she said like they'll be sitting there and they'll see like a puff of smoke, like cigar smoke.
Sorry, I'm still thinking about derby, roller derby. I was like, ooh, we need to go. This sounds exciting. There's smoke. There's
no in this mansion that
I
think she works at. Or
has been to,
or helps out at, or has friends. I don't know, Megan. I don't know. But
you're horrible.
I know. I'm so sorry. But anyways, it seems really cool. She said they'll be sitting there and they'll just suddenly see like what looks like a puff of cigar smoke. And they'll hear footsteps and all kinds of stuff. So it's really cool.
Oh yeah, tell her to write in.
I know, and I want to go. So,
I bet if she writes in, you'll actually read it.
I totally would. I would remember details at least for a day or two.
At least for long enough to us to have a conversation about.
Right, and then I could always go back and reference it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I need. I don't know what it is about my brain. Anytime it's something important. Because my mind wanders.
Well, I think it's also the setting. You're listening at a ball game. So there's like a million things going on. People are like, I don't know. I have a hard time too sometimes.
Okay, thanks.
So it's not just you. It's just us.
Oh, good. That's comforting. Okay, your turn for a story.
Okay, I don't have a story, but I had a thought the other day that I want to know your opinion on.
Okay.
I think I was taking a shower. I was doing something that I wouldn't want anybody around when it was happening.
Okay.
I can't remember. I really can't remember what setting I was in. I mean, maybe I was on the toilet. I don't know where I was, but I remember thinking, so if people believe in ghosts, do they just believe that ghosts are here all the time? And like this ghost is watching me? Or do ghosts, like, why do they choose to come in? Because you also don't really hear about hauntings happening like while everybody's sitting there eating dinner, or everybody's
Yes, you do. There are times like that.
or like two people making out.
Yes, you absolutely hear about
I
those
feel like
kind of
we've never
stories.
gotten those stories.
Well, that's because we got a bunch of prudy people.
I feel
No, I'm
like
kidding.
the don't eat dinner.
they're none of them but meat, and
No,
maybe they're all ghosts.
all of our stories have been from ghosts.
Wouldn't that be the twist of a lifetime? Call in Night Shyamalan. I've got a story for him.
No, I think you see those things on movies for effect, but like true stories that people write in, true, those are quotation marks in my stories that people write in, they don't seem to happen during times where like there's multiple witnesses.
Oh, I'm so excited you're saying this. Wow. I'm about to read my story tonight.
Okay. Or like during times when, you know, like at a birthday party, when everybody's like celebrating and having
there's too
fun.
much going on, you wouldn't notice it.
Okay. That's an interesting.
Kind of like the ballpark.
So you think the ballpark is haunted?
No, I'm saying there's too much going on and you can't focus on, that one little noise. You'd be like, oh, that's just that guy behind me.
Very interesting story that she told you.
That's why I was distracted. There was a ghost the whole time.
There it is. No, I don't know. I was just thinking like, I think it was like a quiet moment when I was alone and I was like, oh, this could be like a creepy time. But I was like, but I don't want a ghost to come in like right now.
Yeah. I don't think there are just always ghosts around.
Yeah, like they can always see you.
Some places are haunted. And those places that are, I don't know, I kind of feel like maybe, this is a big thought.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If I'm going to think about like residual haunting.
Okay.
I would think that in this realm, there are just like past lives reliving their life over and over again.
That have no idea we're there.
Right.
Okay.
And our paths never cross. We never notice each other.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe one day some like the veil is thin and you see something that's weird.
And exactly what is the veil?
It's the paranormal. It's the line between the living and the dead.
Oh, okay.
It's supposed to be very thin on like
rainy days, rainy, stormy days.
Yeah, stormy days. Ooh, speaking of veil thinning, I feel like this would be one. It kind of sounds like when you're about to have a baby.
It does. I was like, your cervix thinning.
Thinning. Ew, gross.
Yuck.
I mean, it's beautiful. Life is great.
Sure.
Oh, so gross. I'm so glad I'm done. Anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, the total,
no idea.
The total lunar eclipse last night.
Oh,
did you see it?
Total eclipse of the heart. That one?
Okay. That one. Did you see it?
No, I had no idea what was going on until I woke up in Facebook. The whole world knew but me.
Well,
including my sister, who could have easily texted me, hey, did you remember the lunar eclipse?
I was sitting out on the front porch, but all your lights were out. Every single one of them. So I thought, well, they're asleep.
What time was it?
I stayed up till midnight to watch it.
Oh, yeah. I was dead to the world by the time I got up. Yesterday was the longest day in the history of days. Parade, baseball, family dinner.
Yep.
Oh, my God. I need a weekend for my weekend. So
all in the sun. We were there together the whole time.
Yes. So I needed to just go to bed.
Yeah, that's what I figured. So I didn't wake you up.
Okay, well, thank you. I do appreciate that.
It was fun. I sat out there and I listened to the last bit of my audiobook and watched the eclipse.
Nice.
It was really cool. Like, it was very slow going for a long time. And then I was like, okay, here it comes. And it was just like a little sliver of light for a long time until it was pitch black outside.
Oh, that's really cool.
It was really fun. And then I was like, well, I want to see when it like gets to the other side and it comes out. So I waited for a few minutes and nope, that took a really long time. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go shower. I came back out, still totally dark. I'm like, oh man. Went and brushed my teeth, put my laundry away. Like I did everything I could, came back, still completely dark. I'm like, I don't know how long this is gonna last. So I went to bed.
Well, there you go. I also, how often do eclipses happen? Because I feel
Every
like
2.5 years, but in different locations of the world. I looked it up today for Nora.
wow, look at you, a wealth of knowledge. Well, also though, there's sometimes things that are like, this hasn't happened in 150 years. And I feel like those things happen all the time.
I think solar eclipses are more rare.
Well, what's the flipping difference?
Well, one is the moon and one is the sun.
Oh, okay. There's that difference. I just feel like eclipses happen all the time. And people are like, this has never happened.
They're
I'm like,
probably,
I feel like it happened last month.
It never happens in your, like, where you can get to it. Because it happens all over in different spots in the world, just wherever the earth is lined up at that time.
Maybe I'm like a world traveler and I don't even realize it.
Yeah, maybe you're a time traveler.
But like a super ADHD time traveler that I'm not even paying attention to where I'm at.
Totally be you.
Yeah, that does. Sounds like it could be both of us.
Did you know, right? Did you know that they are making that horrible book that I hate? Because we've talked about Time Traveler's Wife.
The one that has that.
The one that has the weird scene that I really dislike. And then they already made a movie about it. And now they're making like an HBO series about it. Get new material.
Yeah.
Who loves this book so much?
Yeah.
If you're going to make a TV series about any book, it better be Twilight. Like, let's get real.
Okay, how about no to that? But then also, I kind of want to watch that now that you told me that one part, just so I can see
I bet it's
how
in the series.
They would do that. How would they?
Oh, I hope that they don't, because that's going to be like a...
What is it again? She ends up having sex with herself?
No, he ends up going back and...
masturbating himself.
Yes.
Wow.
Look, if you are just listening and on that episode, that was a spoiler on Patreon. We put that out on Patreon.
Oh, sorry.
I think we did.
No, I think we talked about it in the episode.
All right. I don't know. Ugh, I hated it so much. I really, 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 it stuck with me for years and years and years, and I hate it.
Yeah.
And then to see that it's a freaking show.
Yeah.
I'm like, we didn't get the blood typing scene from Twilight because we had to rush through that awkward movie that I love dearly, but it is awkward as all get out.
No one knows what you're talking about right
now. Everybody knows what I'm talking about right now. Like over half of our listeners, I think. I would love a poll.
Well, the other half are sitting there. They are no longer listening. They're thinking about baseball. They're at a baseball game now.
That's fine. I don't care. That is injustice that we did not get that blood. It's my favorite scene in the whole freaking series, and they just cut it from the movies.
Oh, so that sounds horrible.
That will be there in the series that they're going to make someday.
Okay. Story time?
I think it's story time. You're going first.
Oh, dibs. Okay. So this story I got back when I hustled. Every day I'm hustling. So that, not every day. That day I hustled. Let's keep it real. This is me we're talking about. That one day I hustled, and now I have this great story. So this is from Bree. I truly don't even know where to begin. I've always been aware of the paranormal, so I guess I've gotten used to it. Admittedly, some people get spooked when I share that I live in a haunted house. Let's back it up. I grew up in my current home. I was blessed enough to have inherited it after my grandpa passed. This is the home he bought and raised his kids in. Ever since I was little, I would tell him the place was haunted. He would always just give me that age-old, and this is in quotation marks, it's an old house, it creaks, it isn't haunted, ghosts aren't real. Many years later, he ended up seeing a ghost in the dining room.
Oh, that creak is awful visual.
That he thought was me. It wasn't.
Oh.
And it changed his mind. Anyway, years passed and my grandpa got older. We talked a little bit about what I thought would come next after death, and I told him, well, I think that you get to choose to stay or go. You could hang out here or you could pass over. He said, I would like to think that would be true, with a really inquisitive look on his face, like he was really thinking about it. A couple weeks later, he suddenly passed away, but I knew he wasn't going very far. The day of his funeral, I came home to pick up money and found all 4 burners of the stove turned on full blast.
Oh, gosh.
I know, that's horrible.
Grandpa pissed?
Right. Well, nobody was home, but I think he was trying to light a cigar. He always used to do that, like light a cigar on the stove.
Oh, that's not safe when
No.
you're dead.
No,
That's
no,
not
no.
safe probably ever, but it's definitely not safe when you're
Definitely not when you're
dead.
dead.
You might have the energy to turn that on, but you have the energy to turn it off.
Well, he had the energy to turn them all on.
Yeah, that's too much energy.
That's too much to then not go back.
What if he had just finally got it and he was like, oh, thank goodness, it got right there, and she's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He'd be so mad.
So pissed.
Oh, well, maybe that explains why he does what he does next. Okay. I love this part. He always used to do that. Old man always had a cigar in his mouth, but this part's great. So I had to speak into the abyss why we don't do that. As time has gone on, he's kind of just continued his routines. You can hear him walking around the hardwood floors. If I watch TV for too long, he shuts it off or changes the channel.
Oh, no.
And just very on brand for him. He likes to hide our keys from us. That might explain the whole, oh, you're not going to let me light my cigar?
Right.
I'm gonna hide your keys.
That's right.
And
my house.
That's right. He likes to hide our keys from us and lets our dogs out of their crates. Whenever my wife and I fight, all the clocks in the living room start ticking. But don't they already tick?
Yeah, that's weird.
That's my question.
Well,
clocks are supposed to tick.
That's weird. I need more explanation of that.
Unless they have like a bunch of broken clocks in their house. That's weird.
Ooh.
I mean, that's different.
I'm not judging.
Not judging. He collected clocks, and I didn't move all of them. So we've got about 6 in the living room on the walls, cuckoo clocks, and they don't work.
Look, just read on. This is why we pre-read.
Yeah, that's why I'm supposed to pre-read, and I don't do that either. But when we fight, they all start going off.
Wow. Okay, now what do you think the reasoning would be for that if you're believing in the paranormal? Like, as a distraction?
Yeah, like stop. Y'all need to quit.
Time is precious. Don't
maybe
fight.
Maybe he's like getting so into it. He's like, oh, here we go. We got a good fight. Like the drama's happening. And so the energy just like takes up. Like, can ghosts control the energy? Like,
yes.
Okay, you say that so confidently.
I do.
Okay.
I feel it.
As if he's saying it's not worth the argument.
Again, just keep reading. Just keep reading.
Yeah.
That was my fault that time.
They explain their own story. Isn't that amazing? How this person knows their story so well that they know how it goes.
They don't even know us because this is a hustle. And we're still like, they're going to mess this up. I'm just going to give every detail possible.
Yeah, which we are messing it up, but here we go.
Appreciate it because you're correcting us in the moment.
Definitely. We appreciate it. As if he's saying, it's not worth the argument. Just let it go. It usually works.
Wow.
While all of this is just run of the mill, every year around Christmas, he's made his own tradition. And it's my favorite part of the whole story. Every year we go out and get a real tree. We bring it home and we decorate it while listening to the Christmas music. If we don't turn on Christmas music, my grandpa does.
Ooh.
He'll use one of our 4 phones and play Frank Sinatra or Ella Fitzgerald Christmas songs. This year, he didn't show himself, and I was a little bummed. I was doing dishes, and my wife said, the thermostat is playing music. Did you turn it on? It's a smart thermostat. It links to my Spotify.
Like, that's the first issue here. What?
Right. It links to my Spotify. I looked at my phone and said no. Then I said out loud quietly to myself, would have been better if it was Christmas music, though. And not even 10 seconds later, it was Christmas music.
Oh, my gosh.
I just started clapping and laughing.
Oh, that's so sweet.
So even though he's gone, he's not very far away at all. And if I ask nicely, he always gives me a little sign that he's still there for me.
Oh.
Let me know if you need any other stories. This is only one, and I have many more.
Awesome. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We definitely want those stories.
Oh, we definitely want those stories. And I'm so glad this one's sentimental. It's about a family member. Sorry.
Okay, but you can debunk some things. You can try to debunk
so you already
some
know.
of those things within. Like, specifically. Without taking away the sentimental vibe, I feel like.
Oh, really? I feel like you're trying to make me go against my own rule.
Yeah, maybe. But why would the clocks suddenly go off if not for, like, all of them at once?
Because this is a sentimental story, therefore I don't touch it.
Oh my gosh, you cannot go that far.
Well, yes, I can.
Bree gave us 1,800 different things that Grandpa does. You gotta go
and
at
Bree,
least one.
But here's why I don't touch these stories. Bree needs all of those things to happen to be closer to their grandfather.
Okay, I feel like if I was Brie, let's say I'm Brie,
Mm-hmm.
the song, the Christmas music, that would be sentimental.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even the creepy fire lighting would be sentimental. The like ticking while I'm trying to fight, I'd be like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Let's talk about that. Why is that happening? You can try to debunk that one.
Whatever, Aaron. You're so okay. I almost feel like if it happened every single time that they fought, they could record some sort of proof of it happening. And that's probably not what they're going for, but I don't know. Like maybe there was a coincidence at one point, or it happened a couple of times, and it happened to be where they were heightened and emotions were heightened, and therefore it was like, extra bizarre that it happened during that time. Maybe one of them was already ticking and they just didn't tune in. They didn't notice it until they were fighting. And then one of them like stops, like how when you're fighting,
yeah,
like, I don't know, the way I fight. And then you get so angry, you're like, I better stop before I say something I don't want to say. So you get real quiet. When I get real quiet, that's when you know. It's not when I'm saying words. It's when I get real quiet that you do not want to know what is happening in my head, because I'm telling you right now, it's a lot worse than what was already coming out of my mouth. So maybe it got real quiet during that argument, and that ticking is like all you could hear at that point. But it had already been happening even before the fight started, and they just didn't notice it.
All right. Well, there are so many. You're getting the easy road out because it's sentimental.
It is very sentimental. And Brie, I don't think Brie's a listener, so this might be the first episode that they're listening to. So I don't touch sentimental stories because they just mean too much to the person who wrote them in.
Okay. Here we go. What about Grandpa, still alive Grandpa, seeing what he thought was Brie?
So I need to know more context to that. I need to know again,
Sure, of course you do. Okay.
I need to know who was around, what kind of neighborhood did you live in? Were there lots of kids around? Were there other kids in the house? Were there cousins? Is there any way it could have been anybody else? Like, I just need to know more about what time of day it was, the lighting.
It was enough to make this person who never believed in ghosts and said it's just an old house, it's just a creaky old house, suddenly change their mind.
Right. Also, I don't know that, who knows how much Grandpa really truly didn't believe in ghosts, or was Grandpa trying to like shelter the child because Grandpa's smart and doesn't want to deal with a kid crying all night long. So it's like, oh no, this is not a haunted house, but maybe Grandpa really did believe in ghosts and therefore was more likely to see a ghost. Yes.
Air quotes are happening right now. Okay, well, I think there are too many things there that you won't touch because it's sentimental. So you all know the real story.
I know. Full disclosure, I said I'm really glad that it's a sentimental one. But I do. Okay, I'll say this in generalizations. I'll say that when there's someone that you just have such a desire to link the afterlife to, like you want to see them. You crave them. You want that time with them one more time, or you want them to be around, send a message or something. I think that sometimes your desperation for that can cause certain things for you to kind of link up that may or may not be true. So I say that with full respect. I think that it's needed, and I think that it is comforting, and I'm not trying to take anything away from those experiences. I think that they are probably very real.
Yeah.
But your mind is making some like roadmap to get to that person because you miss them so much, which I think is perfectly fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that it probably is a very natural part of the grieving process, which is why I tend to not like to go down that road with sentimental, because I don't want to, I'm just like a ridiculous person that started a podcast with a ridiculous sister. So I don't want to take away, I don't want to take anything away from any experience that anybody has had, especially when that experience is something they really needed.
Yeah. Well, that's a great excuse for why.
Oh, please.
You won't go into it.
Some people might call that compassion, Aaron.
It's compassion, and it's an excuse because there were so many things there, but I mean, great story.
Yeah, wonderful story. Lots and lots to unpack there if I chose to unpack it, but
lots and lots of paranormal activity, and that's what I like. So,
I didn't.
also, did you hear in there when I sounded like Owen Wilson when I said wow? Wow. I said it at one point, and I thought, oh,
Shut
gosh,
up.
why do I do that sometimes? I really sounded like him.
What
Wow.
a specific, I can't even think what Owen Wilson sounds like when he says wow.
Just like that. Just like what you just
Say
heard.
it again. Let me
wow.
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 Wow. Why does it sound so nasally?
That's a great, well, have you seen his nose?
Oh, that's true. I think he's broken his nose a couple times. Maybe.
Yeah, he's broken that nose. That's not his natural born nose.
I don't think that Owen Wilson would ever pop in my mind if I just heard somebody talking.
I hear him in my head about 30% of the time. I say, wow. It comes out
so
wow.
weird.
I've never broken my nose.
Channeling your inner Owen Wilson.
I know.
Now, Matthew McConaughey will come into my mind a lot.
Yeah.
Like certain people will talk. I'm like, oh, you sound like Matthew McConaughey right there.
You know, it's really weird. Every time I think of Matthew McConaughey, I think of Regis Philbin saying Matthew McConaughey, hey. But Regis Philbin used to say that when I was a brand new mom. I used to watch the Regis and Kelly show every day.
Wow, that's
every
telling.
day.
That's telling.
I know. Anyways, moving right along.
Hold on, let me pour some more wine before you get into this.
Okay, the subject line of this one is my boring haunted house story.
Oh, I'm down with that. I'm chill. I'm relaxed. I can do something boring.
Okay, this is from another Sarah, not the one from last week.
Oh, okay. I was like, I read Breeze, but yeah, last week we had a Sarah.
Hey there. So I'm answering your hustle call from Facebook about haunted house stories.
Thank you.
It was my hustle.
Oh, okay.
So
okay,
thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is kind of boring, and some of it is non-verifiable because haunting.
I love it.
So about 8 or 9 years ago, pretty sure it's 9, but memory is fairly unreliable, I was starting the process of divorcing my now ex. Suffice it to say, between that, taking care of my kids pretty much full time, about ages 6 and 7 or 7 and 8, and working full time. Plus, I was definitely overextended, exhausted, and full of rage.
Oh, I could only imagine.
Yeah, all caps for that rage.
Wow.
This might be important because aren't the spirits supposed to react to negative energy?
Or you react to negative stress.
Well, that's kind of like chicken and the egg. Like what came first?
No, chickens are real, eggs are real. That's not at all like chicken and egg.
Haunting.
Chickens and eggs are both real.
Yes.
They're real things.
But one could say when you're stressed, they're going to feed on your energy. A believer could say that. And then a skeptic could say, you're stressed, so you're making up things in your brain.
Okay, those are two totally different things. A chicken and egg are linked together.
No.
And are both real.
Both of those things have links.
Both of those things have similar words, but one of them is not real.
Okay, we'll fight about this in a minute. Okay, how about that?
Okay,
how about
okay.
we save it?
Okay.
Okay. During this period of self-reflection, just kidding, I was way too tired.
Ugh.
A couple of odd things took place. Number 1, footsteps. So a little background on my house. I live in jolly old New England.
Aww.
And then in parentheses, I'm a transplant, and seriously, fuck this place sometimes. And my house is old. Kind of looks like the Amityville horror house.
Ooh.
But smaller and no lake access.
Well, that sucks. I mean,
I
that's
know.
like the best part of that house.
Perks of that house, the only perks of that house
Right.
is gone. That's how they escaped at the end of the boat. How are you going to get out of this?
No.
It's boring. Don't worry. Records indicate it was built in 1924. However, it has a lot of amazing woodwork from a former mansion that sat on the property prior to that. So who fucking knows how old some of the components of this place are. Fast forward to 2015 or whenever, and I wake up to hear what sounds like someone just pounding up the stairs from the first level to the second. So I get up, kind of freaked out, but don't see or hear anything else. Eventually, I get back to sleep-ish. I should also note my insomnia was pretty bad around this time. I'm like, stop mentioning these things, Sarah, but that's okay. And just chalk it up to being overtaxed. A few days later, one of my girls comes and wakes me up. She's terrified because there was someone running up the stairs. But she didn't see anyone. She was scared, so she came and slept in my bed with me. So, okay, maybe it's not just me. A couple of days after that, I wake up and see my other kid standing at the top of the stairs holding a metal pipe because she because she too heard someone come hammering up the stairs.
Okay, I like that kid though.
Right?
Like,
That would be
I will
you.
defend
I would be the one who's like,
myself.
Mom, you were like, I got this.
Y'all go back to bed. I'm gonna take care of this.
So all of us experience the same thing at different times. None of us have any explanation. My youngest daughter thinks ghosts and such are bullshit.
Nice.
But she clearly remembers this and has no explanation.
Which
brings me to number 2, the bra.
Oh, love it.
So I decided to get myself a little something nice. Because why the fuck not?
Right. And going through divorce?
Yeah.
Let's get you a sexy bra.
Treat yourself.
Come on now.
Treat yourself.
Do this.
So I got myself this cute little bra from Hot Topic. Judge away. When the mall had stores and wasn't the vast wasteland it is now. It was black and had a little heart charm thing.
Oh, so cute.
Brought it up to my bedroom to put away. And my girls saw it. They thought it was pretty and were goofing around with it, pretending to put it on, whatever. That's fine. I'm not possessive of my stuff. Later in the day, I go to put it away. Ask the girls where it is because it's not on my bed. They say they left it there. No, it's not. So I get annoyed because I just got myself something nice during a particularly, I hate that word, rough time, and it's gone. Look around, can't find it. I figure it'll turn up. Nope. It's never been seen again. And I've ripped my house apart numerous times to repaint, deep clean, etc. We still joke about it sometimes. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I'm forming a debunk though, and I don't think I like where I'm going with it.
Okay. Wait a minute. Number 3, the dog tag. This is not boring. There are so many stories.
Yeah.
This is the last of the weird things that's happened, but this was a few years later. I found this in the middle of my living room floor. She posted a picture.
Oh, okay.
It says, please return to Tiffany & Co., New York. And then it's got a digit and then
like a serial number or something. Huh. Okay.
No idea where the fuck it came from. And Tiffany has no record.
Ooh,
that's a weird twist.
That is weird.
I still have the tag and I still live in my old New England home. It's been quiet aside from random house noises that all houses have. That's it.
Okay.
We're done. It's your turn.
No. Are you ready? Are you ready for my debunk? I don't like it, so I hate to say it. Ellie agrees. What if it was the ex?
Like sneaking in?
Yes. Coming into the house.
Going
up the stairs. I mean, even if it was, like, I don't know. Couples they can get pretty drastic, pretty desperate, I don't know. And some people are just out there. And they could do some things like to sneak and spy.
Yeah.
So what if it was them walking up and down the stairs? But what really made me think it, because I was already kind of thinking like, ooh, I'm not going to go squatter on this one. I'm going to go like ex finding you and coming in to like check in on you all or to see if anybody's there in the bed with you. Yeah, but
they're like looking. They hear it. They run out and nobody's there.
Yeah, I mean, they could be going down the stairs.
It said, no, you can hear directions. And it said like they were running up the stairs.
Maybe they ran up the stairs and hid somewhere.
I don't think they'd be fast enough.
Well, you don't know. You don't know the layout of the house.
Okay, I could give you the bra situation.
Okay, but then that's what really was like, ooh, it is. It feels like it's the ex. They bring home this sexy bra, and they're super excited about it.
Yeah.
And then it goes missing, and they never find it again. Oh, I hate that, because if that's true, that's horrible. I would much rather it be a ghost.
If you want to make that slightly less creepy, maybe one of the daughters takes it. Like, I'm just going to borrow it. And they take it.
Something happens to it.
And then maybe when they're at, like, Dad's house for the weekend, Dad sees it and he's like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And just takes it out. Doesn't say anything.
Yeah. Or it could just be as simple as, like, maybe the little heart fell off.
Yeah.
And, like, in panic, I don't know what to do with this. And I don't want to admit that I did it. I'm just going to make it disappear. I could see kids doing something like that.
I could too. So I can bend on that one.
But the running up and down the stairs,
3 different people hearing it 3 different times and never being able to catch anything is too weird to me.
I don't know.
I'm going ghost with that one.
I'm going real person, possibly the ex.
Man.
Ugh, which is horrible.
Yeah, that is horrible.
Great stories tonight.
I know.
Man.
We're killing it. Y'all keep going.
Yes. Please keep sending them in. Those are great stories tonight. So, are you ready for fan favorite?
I am so ready. I feel even more ready than you are.
Funny. It's funny how I just already told you I was going to do full transparency and just go ahead and admit. Okay. This is a life lesson, Erin.
Okay, I'm ready. Teach me.
When you make a mistake, you just own it. You don't try to hide it. You don't try to make excuses. You just say, yeah, I dropped the ball. Okay. And there it is.
Okay.
So, as Anna pointed out, I was super eager. No, her exact words were, "You're so confident to take that rollover." I was very confident. I felt like I could do it. I felt like I had this under control.
And here we are.
And then here we are.
2 weeks later.
Scrambling is the exact word. Like, oh, shit. Yeah, 2 weeks later. Oh, man. Okay.
The good thing is we have such good fans that we had plenty to pull from.
Yes. I was like, oh, I easily. Like, I just like kept putting some out there. So I've got.
Problem is we record late. So a lot of those wonderful fans were asleep.
Are already sleeping. But not our fan favorite this week. Are you all ready? She's the most fan favorite
ever
that ever responded tonight. Ever. It is the lovely Piper.
Yay, one of my besties from youth.
Oh my gosh. How old were you all when you all first started hanging out?
Really little. Like I would say maybe I was in 2nd grade.
Yeah, like church though, because right? Is that how?
No, it was on the bus. That's how I met her.
Oh, really? How funny is that?
Yeah.
I always thought it was church. I just knew them because we always went to church together.
Yeah, Piper has like dark, beautiful red hair. And her sister has beautiful dark hair, but brown and like a different complexion. And I always thought, how weird is it that they're sitting together? Why do they sit together every day? They do not look related.
Oh, but even if they were just friends, it wouldn't be okay for them to sit
because they were like years apart.
Okay.
They were like 3 years apart, I want to say. So, I mean, I feel like her little sister was in like kindergarten.
Yeah.
And she was in about 3rd grade. And I thought, why are they sitting together every day? Why do they get off at the same spot every day? This is weird. I don't understand. And then I became friends with them and they were like, oh no, we're sisters. I'm like, what?
Oh, that's so
it's so
funny.
Weird. Completely the same parents, completely different looks.
Yeah, well, that's because you and I look so much alike that you don't think that other siblings just sometimes don't.
I think that genetics are one of my favorite things to think about.
Oh, they're
if I was
so
a smarter person, I would have gone into like genealogy.
Well, if you are friends with Chad Ballard, you could sit around a fire pit and have him explain genealogy to you. Drunk, which happened on Saturday. And the whole time I'm sitting there like, I missed out on all of this in biology class. And he was like, oh, yeah, I hated our biology teacher. This is the only part I picked up. I was like, well, that's amazing.
Well, good job.
Yeah.
So we became friends that way. And they used to live real near our house.
Yeah.
And then they moved out further.
They were over at our house all the time. You were over at their house
I was at their house, I think, more than they were at ours. I remember rescuing a little baby deer. It was one of my most vivid childhood memories.
Now, am I making this up? But they had a lot of wildlife.
Yeah, they had a lot of land. So,
okay.
I think there were horses at their other house. I mean, I just so many of my childhood memories are wrapped up at Piper and Jordan's house.
Isn't that so cool? Well, and I just remember you coming home and always having a new adventure, a new story to tell. I'm like, these are the coolest girls. Like they have so much. They still are.
Their dad was like a professional chef.
He cooked us. Why did he cook us a fancy meal one time?
For our 4-H group.
Oh, I was like, I definitely remember eating this food and being like,
so good.
This gourmet chef is at our house cooking us a meal.
I remember before the movie.
Because we fancy. We're in 4-H.
That's right. Before the movie Ratatouille, he made us ratatouille.
Ooh.
And we were jerk kids. I remember we mocked him. We're like, this is gross. It's like what a rat would say. A tooie. Ratatouille. This is gross. I remember saying that as a child.
Oh, that's horrible.
I know.
Also,
why?
You're a guest.
I know,
Aaron.
but I was there all the time. I was like another kid. I used to be able to go to their house and I could watch rated R movies. It was the best.
Yeah, they had one of those cool houses.
Yeah. We listened to Pink Floyd or something backwards and watched Dorothy or Wizard of Oz. I'm telling you,
It was legit.
They were the cool house for
Nice,
sure. And
nice.
I was like, I got lucky getting in there.
Heck yeah. Well, Piper's sending a story.
Yes.
One of our best, I have to say.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody else, but that story sticks with me. I just told it the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, it was a friend of mine. We were talking about past lives. So I don't know. We should maybe look up what episode that was in.
Yeah, I'll try to post that in the description.
Well, Piper writes in a story about her child's past life experience, and it's mind-blowing. It's wild.
Yeah.
So it has stuck with me for a long time. But beyond that, Piper has always shown support. And tonight it was solidified that she really does listen every week, because she was the first one to say, because I'm like, we got to get a hold of Piper. Text her, instant messenger, do something, figure out.
She made me do it. She was like, I know you're friends with her on there and she'll respond to you.
Yes. So she writes her a little message, and then Piper responds like, oh my gosh, what? And then the next one is, I thought Megan was supposed to be in charge of this now. Okay. So I took over. I was like, this is Megan. Quit calling me out, or else you won't be my fan favorite anymore. No, I'm just kidding, Piper. Always a fan favorite. I mean, you're like a childhood fan favorite. So thank you so much for listening in and supporting us. And we are going to plug for you.
Okay, I'm going to tell you how to say it, and then I'm going to tell you her description.
Yeah, it's great.
Okay, her husband has a company that sells, looks like exercise equipment and dumbbells.
Nice.
Very cool.
And they look really well done.
Really well done.
I mean, listen, again, full transparency. I don't know my way around a dumbbell. Can't remember the last time I picked one up, but these look fun. I'd pick one of these
ultra thick yoga mats, which truly I'm going to have to check out, because my knees and my little piddly, like paper thin yoga mat. No, thank you. If you would like to go check out the cool equipment, it is spelled, this is how you go to the website, primozu.com. So I said, how exactly do you say that? She wrote, pre, like P with an R smoothed in. Pre. Not just like pre, something you do before something. No, P with an R smoothed in. Mo, like the bartender in The Simpsons.
Primo, I've got her.
Primo. And zoo, like where the lions and zebras are. Primo Zoo. Primo Zoo.
Primo Zoo. Okay, Primo Zoo.
I love it. I love the description. I also love that she clearly forgot that I was banned from watching The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah, we were totally banned from that.
I was a rule follower, but I would sneak away. So, like, Mom said, you're not allowed to watch The Simpsons. Okay, I won't watch it. She never said you couldn't read the book Sleepers, which Piper gave to me, and I read that book. Oh, my God,
that book was so good. Yeah, you like to say you're a rule follower. No. You're just sneaky. You're just a sneaky motherfucker.
I'll follow a direct rule.
No, you won't. You will pretend to follow that rule.
She said, I don't want you to watch The Simpsons. And I said, okay, fine. I won't watch The Simpsons. And I've, to this day, never seen a single episode of The Simpsons. But she didn't specifically say, don't read this book, Sleepers. Okay, fine. I'll read it. Only at school. That book was...
But why would she ever tell you not? If
exactly.
Okay, so you're like, I know I'm not supposed to. Like,
yeah,
but Mom never said that. Well, that just leaves the gate wide open.
Exactly.
That's horrible. So I guess I need to get all my bases covered and say, look, if you feel like it's inappropriate for kids, do not watch it.
Yeah, Mom never said that. Never once.
Okay, well, I am not a rule follower, so I was like, I'm just going to go right over here, although I hate animation. So I was like, why would I even want to watch that? I have no desire, and I still have no desire.
I have no desire now.
None. No desire to watch anything animated. Sorry, I know it's supposed to be like historic, and it's amazing, blah, 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 blah. Don't care. Put it into human form. I might watch it. But maybe. 90210.
I've never seen 90210.
Oh, that's insane to me. I would sneak and watch that show all the time. Yeah. Also, used to sneak and watch that Scrambled porn.
Oh, I definitely watch Scrambled porn. I watch Scrambled porn. Every once in a while I think about, I'm like, oh, this is an interesting little storyline. Comes into my little line of thought.
Well, yeah.
In important moments.
In there.
Yeah, real late at night we'd get Scrambled porn. I don't know if we've ever discussed
best way to put that in important moments. And yeah, girl, legit. Okay, here's the thing. Everything is so also Piper. So
sorry, Piper.
So
If
sorry.
you need workout equipment, that's where you go.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
That's the end of this
fan favorite.
That's the end of this fan favorite.
We love you.
Who knows what's about to happen?
You've been amazing. You've been amazing, Piper. You've sent out stories. Okay, back to Scrambled porn. So here is the thing. Everything is so accessible right now.
Yeah.
Like anybody, any kid can, and it's like too much. It's too much. But do you remember back?
I'm so excited. Okay.
So like our younger generations don't know this, but back in the day, you used to go downstairs or wherever your TV was. For us, it was downstairs in the basement.
That was the unsupervised TV.
Exactly. That was the one that we could win. So you knew you could stay up after hours on unsupervised nights, and you could switch right between channels 16 and 17. What's that called? A little dial. It was like a little dial that you had to actually physically turn to different stations. Yeah. Now, we weren't so old that was the only way. You could also like flip with the remote. But to get that scrambled good porn, you had to go to the dial. And you would, what you do is you turn it, you get it just perfect in between those two channels that we got neither of those channels, but you would get it like just perfect.
Right.
And you would see the lines and occasionally a nipple would pop up.
Yeah. And or a little butt.
Ooh, little butt, little nipple. Never a dick.
You could hear it. You could always hear it. The whole thing.
Which was the best part.
Right. Who cares?
Because you're like, I don't know what's going on. All I know is that things are happening. Nipples are involved. I'm not supposed to be watching this, which is extra exciting.
Yeah.
Ugh. It was the best. They don't make scrambled porn like they used to.
They really don't.
They should have like a whole channel.
They really should have.
We could create something. We would make millions.
You could never get to it.
Just scrambled porn with a good storyline, occasional nipple, throwing a butt there, and you're like, "What?" You never knew what part you were looking at, because also they're not necessarily standing or always laying down. Yeah. So you're like, "Wait, is it?" Sometimes it wouldn't even be a nipple. You would just.
You're like, wait, is that a nipple or a light switch?
Like,
I'm not sure.
It's totally a nipple. I think I see a nipple. And then you're like, oh no, that's definitely not a nipple. I think that's a nose. That's weird. But either way, erotic the whole time.
For sure. One time, you know when like HBO has a free week?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Real sex?
Yeah.
Oh, well, my gosh. That was the best show.
I was scrolling through and I stopped because I saw the aunt from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Oh.
Like not
from the
Nickelodeon.
The Nickelodeon Sabrina the Teenage Witch?
I don't know what it was on, but the one with Melissa Joan Hart.
Yeah, that was on Nickelodeon, I believe.
Okay. But not the funny one. The aunt that was like real skinny and kind of snobby.
Not the funny aunt. I thought you meant not the funny show.
Okay. No, not the funny aunt.
Okay,
the snobby aunt. And I was obsessed with
that
I was obsessed with Sabrina the Teenage Witch because I was obsessed with Melissa Joan Hart because A, y'all call me sport rudely, and B, her dad called her sport all the time.
Oh,
so I took solitude in the fact that everyone knew she was a girl and they still called her sport. I took a lot of solitude in that.
Okay.
But also, Dad got us a autographed picture of her at some point through his weird connection.
We met her.
We did not meet her.
We were supposed to go meet her.
We were supposed to meet her.
That's
and
what it was. I think I made up that whole memory. I was like, no. We met her.
We didn't meet her.
I just played it out in my mind what it would be like to meet her. But we were supposed to meet her.
We got an autographed picture. Dad has weird connections, and we got a picture. And ever since then, I was like, fangirl crazy. So I watched Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So much so, I'm so loyal that when I went through and I saw the aunt I don't even like, I was like, I'll watch this movie. What's this? Totally a porn.
Love it.
It turned into a porn with the stuffy aunt. Isn't that weird?
No, I love that. She's like, look, I'm diverse. I can do roles of all kinds.
I think she was still kind of bitchy.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, whenever a character always plays the same role, you're like, so really,
that's you.
That's you. That's
you're not
your
a great actor. You just
are playing yourself.
Big character. Got it.
Either way, Scrambled porn. That's where it's at.
Yeah.
That's our moneymaker.
Scrambled is the name of this episode.
Scrambled. Yes, there it is. As soon as we get done with this podcast, we need to start launching some scrambled porn.
Oh my gosh, thank goodness. I thought you were going to say we need to start trying to find some scrambled porn. I was like, I don't want to watch that with you. I do not want to watch that.
No, absolutely not. That is not something you do with somebody else.
No.
That is something that you do at about age 12, 13, down in the basement by yourself. And you're like, there is a nipple right there.
Yeah.
I don't even have anybody to turn to and say, is that a nipple? It's already off the screen. Who knows? Now I'm seeing an ass. I don't know.
It was a nipple
maybe.
As far as anyone is concerned.
Oh, but the sounds.
Sounds were never scrambled.
Never scrambled. Ugh.
All right.
The life.
Boy, what a turn this took.
Okay.
That's what you get when you listen. You never know. I had no
Neither do we.
thought that porn was going to come up and we were going to go on such a tangent. And here
we
you are.
Admit how much we love it, but there it is.
It's there.
It's right there.
Okay, here's even more disgusting. I have tried to watch regular porn and I can't. I'm like,
it's not
this
as
is
good.
Too much.
It is too much. I need it scrambled. What does that say?
That we're shame-based. We were taught that sex is bad and we shouldn't be able to watch the full thing.
Yep, all that. And also,
it's not. If you're listening and you shouldn't be, but you're young, it's not a bad thing. But
it's not. But wait till you're like,
wait till you're age appropriate.
But also,
it's messed me up.
Just wait till you're developmentally ready. But also, so that you know that that's all fantasy. None of it really happens that way. But also, what I hear from all of that is we have a fan base, because there's lots of people our age that we're still used to watching Scrambled. We're on to something here. I'm not.
I'm the only person who confirmed this. Maybe we're just perverts.
Oh, maybe. Well, that is totally likely.
All right, let's wrap this up. Good grief.
Okay, yeah, sure. Let's do that.
Okay, if you
get professional. Let's get professional after that scrambled porn talk.
If you'd like to find out if we ever start this company, we will post it first on our website. Go to myskepticalsister.com where you can.
Wouldn't it be insane if that's how we got big?
No.
Like we started this podcast. They're like, they made it big in the scrambled porn industry. Okay, sorry. I'll stop interrupting you. Go.
myskepticalsister.com. You can find our merch, which I don't want to make it sound like this happens rarely, but somebody did just buy merch from our website.
Somebody random that we don't know.
Yeah.
From mainland.
No, but I'm not going to call it where they're from.
Oh, no. You're not?
No, but you're wrong on both accounts.
Oh. Really?
Where do you think mainland is?
Maryland.
That's not a place.
No,
you said it last week.
I know. I always mean Maryland. Maryland.
Okay.
From somewhere up north.
Yeah. There you go. Starts with an M. You can find out where to listen to us. You can find out about us. You can find out our contact information, including our P.O. box, or just write directly from there. You can find out how to become a Patreon, social media, merchandise, all of that, live events. You can also go to myskepticalsister@gmail.com to write in your own stories. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I've been trying to do more on TikTok. I am fully embarrassed by it, but it's not anything related to our podcast, but it's me on there.
It's fun. It's great. Love it.
Mostly reactive.
Never watch it. I've never seen it, but it's great. I'm sure.
I know.
It's great.
So go there to, support
Throw
us.
in some scrambled porn on this.
I'm sure that's legal.
Let's see how many hits you get. Nobody will know.
Like me in the porn.
It's scrambled. Just scramble some shit and put in some ooh la las, and it'll be great.
Oh my gosh. And rate, review, subscribe, please. We'll talk to you next week.
Hooroo.
La 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 la.
I feel like you were going to say something about my beautiful house right now.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. Well, really. So just like peace.
Okay.
Maybe in the beginning.
Thank you. I like how you whisper it.
Nobody will know.
This is my editing note. I'm going to whisper it so that I can leave it in and no one will hear it. Well, that's an important Megan moment. Megan moment.
Every moment is a Megan moment. Sometimes I always.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, you're supposed to say, here's your sign.
Here's your sign. We do.
Such a dork. You're such a dork.
It's an excuse.
It's an excuse. Is that a excuse?
As an excuse. Particularly, I hate that word.
We should play like a drinking game every time Ellie gets up. We would be so drunk.
Wasted.
We could not do this podcast.
Go lay down. Don't just look at me.
Every time Aaron says go lay down in the bloopers.
I'm not talking to Megan.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not talking to me. That'd
Just
be
go
really
lay
weird.
down. Just go lay down.
You've had enough.
Oh.
It's time for you to be done talking.
Go lay down, Ellie. Do you want me to get your bed? All right.
2 licks, that meant yes.
Okay. Look at you, and you don't believe in signs from the other side.
I believe in signs from dogs. They're living beings. They're right here. I can touch her. Yes, I can. Yes, I can, you sweet girl. Hi, baby. Oh, I know. Talk to me. Admittedly, sorry. So I guess
I was gonna say it sounded okay.
Admittingly,
you said it fine the first time.
Admittingly.
Well, look at the way it's spelled.
I am, but I don't know if she's a good speller or not.
Admittingly, I think.
Admittingly. That sounds so weird. Admittedly.
That sounds weird.
How do you spell admittingly? Oh, I know. Admit. Look, other people have asked this question. Is it admittingly or admittedly? Let's find out. This is a little lesson.
We are time travelers.
We are. Why?
Because we've had this argument in the past and then put it on Google.
Admittingly and
admittedly?
admittedly?
My gosh, never mind. It was a joke. It failed. Go on.
Oh, I was like, we've done this before. We didn't learn our lesson. Okay, sorry. So admittedly, I admit it.
Okay. Yes. Sure. Then they're both fine. Oh, you're saying they admitted it versus admittingly. I am saying it.
Okay.
Myself.
So if one person says it,
I think that either way could go right now, and no one would bat an eye except for Stephanie.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, she's a listener. We need to accommodate for her.
Okay.
Admittedly, it's got to be. I don't know why. Sometimes English really sticks with me. Okay. Admittedly.
And sometimes it does not at all.
Not at all. Whenever my wife and I fight. Oh. No, wait.
Any more before that all? Just you're sad when any married couple
there wasn't a period there. So I was like, which one does it went to the when they fight, he lets the dogs out or no? So now I've got it. Oh, this is my favorite part. I just get to sit back and drink. Sometimes I drift off, but I'll come back. I promise.
You're not at the ball game.
Okay. Hooroo. Is that it? Hooroo. Hooroo.
Hooroo. I don't know. She sounded very Australian when she said it.
Speaking an Australian accent for a minute.
Oh, I'm really bad at Aussie accents. I can't do American.
Hooroo.
No, I don't think that was it. Here's your story. Yes, we do. Here's your sign. I'm going to click stop on this.